Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon podcast, but it's live.
Anything can happen.
Anything. I feel like it already has.
It has.
The standard has been set for anything at this point.
Yes.
It is so good to see everybody in the same room again. This is 3 consecutive years that we have been able to do this meetup and just to bring you all together into the same room after many trying times and a couple of years of adversity where we weren't sure what was going to happen moving forward. Bourbon brings us back together, and it's good to be together. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But so I don't make myself cry. With me as always, it's my co-host.
I'm Eric,
The Whiskey Mutant.
the Whiskey Mutant.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, how you doing?
Well, I'm on the verge of tears, and I wasn't expecting to be this early on.
That's what we do, though.
I know. That's how it goes.
That's what we do. Warren, R.I.P., baby.
All right. Never mind. We'll save that for the people who were in the room. When we were getting this event together, Eric and I were talking about what makes Timbip special. What makes what we do energetic and fun and different in a way that most other bourbon content is not. And a big core part of that was when Eric joined the show, we started drinking whiskey and eating weird snacks.
Yes, we did.
And before I get too far into this, I'll tell on myself, but also share with you an experience that Eric unfortunately had last night. So we're curious people. If you put something down in front of us, typically the answer is yes, I will eat that. Case in point, last year, our dear friend Don Nishida brought durian snack cakes, which, thank you.
Exactly.
Which is a fruit that smells like rotten meat, for anybody who doesn't know. And Eric and I just kept going back to that moment saying that was the worst McDonald's hamburger I've ever tasted in my life.
It was bad. It was a dumpster hamburger.
And Don also last year, dumpster hamburger. Yeah. Don also brought last year this, bear with me, can of silkworm pupa. The hissing noise that can made when I opened it for the first time last night was brutal. And I knew in that moment, if I were to eat that silkworm pupa, that would be the rest of my life. I would have to recreate that moment for people over and over and over again. Eric, on the other hand, said, yeah, I'll do it.
That is, somebody quoted me just now.
Yes. There were a lot of gagging noises that came out of that moment.
I didn't think there was juice in that thing.
Well,
I thought it was just dry.
It had to brine.
I thought it was dry.
It had to brine.
So I drank the juice and I ate the worm.
And it was bad. And it's on record. You can check that out on the Patreon. I did not intend for that to be a commercial so quickly, but
Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast.
Yes. But the point I'm trying to make is that we realize that we do a lot of weird tasting. And so we needed to bring a friend on to make things a little more official and proficient, I would say, as far as our tasting habits go. So I am so happy that Ben didn't turn his phone off. I am so happy to welcome back a dear friend of the show, the lady who genuinely, literally wrote the book on pairing bourbon with food, Peggy Noe Stevens.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know, I don't know. I between silkworms and Warren stories, I don't know. I think I've lost my appetite. I don't know if I can help you all.
Eric ruins the show again.
I don't know.
You've never ruined the show. You've just made it difficult for me. What? It was picking it up.
Okay. I was just making sure.
I got you, man.
I was just making sure.
I know.
Third
Look,
mic
it's
there?
got two outputs.
Okay.
It goes into the thing.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I thought I messed the show up again. I thought I
we
did
did
something
tech
wrong.
rehearsal already, and he never brought this up. So
I thought.
anyway, Peggy, the last time that we really sat down and talked together was 4 years ago. I wasn't a dad
Seems
yet.
forever. I know. It seems forever.
It's incredibly just wonderful that we were able to bring you back
Thank you.
for this, and sincerely, thank you so much for being here
Absolutely.
for this.
Anything
Yes.
for Perry.
Oh,
I say that a lot too. Anything
actually-
for Perry.
Or Larry.
Larry.
Is it Larry?
Jerry. Larry.
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll talk about that
Yes.
later. I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about your process with pairing, because again, it's very different from what we're typically doing. But
Sure.
I also wanted to give you the opportunity to answer the question that we typically ask when we open up episodes, which is, what have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking?
What have you been drinking recently?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just came off of judging a competition where I had 50 samples, so I drank a lot. And then I went to San Francisco World Spirits Competition, and we did 300 tastings in 3 days. So Mama's just been sipping now. But I did have fun. Where's Team Peggy in the audience? Oh,
Great.
yay. Okay, I figured they were out there. We sipped some nice whiskeys tonight, and I brought some different things for them to taste. I brought some Leaper's Fork, bottled
Yeah.
in bond. I brought Journeyman Bourbon,
Right.
which was a big winner that they tasted from the Ascot Awards over a year ago. Gosh, what else did we taste? Buzzard's Roost, a private barrel selection.
That pick is so wonderful too.
Yes, and I picked 2 barrels of Buzzard's Roost, which was delightful. And we also did, what was it? Holiday. Ben Holiday.
Oh, right. Yeah.
which was a kind of, a lot of people haven't heard about it, but I've been enjoying that.
I don't think I had heard of Ben Holiday before today.
I know.
Honestly.
And so a lot of the people that I was with had not either.
Yeah.
But then I saw Eric brought some Elijah Craig barrel proof, and of course I'm all over that. I've been drinking a lot of that.
There she goes.
I'd like to finally get the new one, but
I got us one.
I know you did.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sure.
Eric, what have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking? Well, apparently bug juice. I drank some bug juice last
Nobody
night.
made you.
No.
He was already like gagging when he drank the bug juice, so
I had to though. I had to do
What
it.
was the bug juice?
It was.
it
the
was
worm
whatever it was
can,
like.
the stuff. I don't know what.
Yeah,
it was.
whatever was brining in, I guess. I don't know,
it's-
Peggy.
It's just what I do.
I don't know.
What was the wild turkey we had last night? The traditions. Yes.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Don, did you ever figure out what year it was from?
Ooh, that was good.
Just barely older than me.
I was happy to share last night at our tasting the 20-year Four Roses OBSV.
Yes, sir.
Which
Well, there she
I
goes.
snagged a little.
Well, there she goes.
I couldn't help myself.
You had to. You
I know.
had to. But yeah, I think those were big highlights the last 2 nights for me because we really just had intimate moments. I mean, no,
Never.
never.
James.
Me and Perry shared a secret pour in the bedroom before. I mean,
you
we
didn't
did.
have to tell him.
I'm just saying they want to know.
We can tell him what it was.
We did not go to Brown's but it was, what was it?
The whiskey drummer.
Whiskey drummer.
Yeah, from
And-
3 Chord.
Yes, 15-year
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. So
That was given me by Neil Giraldo, the husband of Pat Benatar.
shout out,
Yes.
Name dropper.
shout out,
Well,
shout out, Pat Benatar.
I have like a couple claims to fame, and they're always in parallel next to somebody who actually has a claim to fame.
Yeah. He knows John Mayer.
I genuinely do not.
Yeah, he does. You know him. But yeah, I think just everything that we've had this weekend, I got to try the stuff Peggy brought, which was amazing, and we'll have some more here. So yeah, just what have I been drinking? Whatever everybody's giving me. So.
Yeah. You brought that Russell's man pick from Oak and Thieves too?
I didn't bring it.
I thought you did.
Todd did.
Todd
I
brought
have
it. Okay.
Todd did.
Did we not kill that bong? Doesn't matter. There's so much in it.
What have you been drinking, Perry?
Well, I'll talk about the one pour that really took us by surprise last night, too. And it was the New Holland wheat whiskey. It was New Holland, right? Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. 80% or 70% wheat?
80 wheat, 20 barley.
There we go. Unlike anything I had ever tasted before. Just an incredible barrel. Lit up the very like dark berry parts of my palate too.
And where are they located?
In Holland, Michigan.
Oh, another Michigan.
There you go.
Okay.
Shout out.
I've never heard Perry say the dark berry part of my palate.
I got to be honest with you, man. That's the first time I've ever said it out loud.
That is
It's always been there.
Yeah, it's always been there. It just
opened up.
activated it. Yeah. So with that in mind, too, Peggy, I want to circle back to talking about your pairing and your tasting process, because everybody has their own method of tasting. Everybody has their own way of just enjoying bourbon and whiskey, whether it's with Little Debbie snack cakes.
Yeah.
Or
Worms.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, the two opposite ends of the spectrum, apparently. So I want to talk about that, and I also want to give people an opportunity to hear kind of your journey through what led you to this point of being the pairing queen, as it were.
The pairing queen. Well, first of all, I guess, because I had a bunch of people in my tasting earlier, I've always been a foodie. I mean, pure and simple. I've always been a foodie. I come from a big Italian family. We always enjoyed, eating, sampling, tasting. And so I come by it honest, and flavors always fascinated me. And when I started early in my career, believe it or not, it was not with bourbon. I worked in the hotel business. And with that, I was in catering, convention services. I would be in the back kitchen with the chef while he was cooking, and I would taste things for clients and started to do wine pairings, because I didn't know any better, And so I really got a great foundation. Then when I moved into the spirits industry, I think I just took all those culinary things with me. And when I started to work at Woodford Reserve, I was part of the original launch team of Woodford. I just really felt like Kentucky had these incredible chefs, but we weren't really celebrating them. And I was tired of the wine people owning pairings. And I thought, God, bourbon is so complex and has so many layers of flavors. And, they're not all generic whiskeys. They all have different styles. And so I started to play around with the chef at Woodford. He was the chef in residence, David Larson, and started to talk to him about it. And he was like, absolutely, because we cook with bourbon. I mean, flambés and, marinades and things like that. And we bake with bourbon, but we really didn't explore it, And so we invited, between he and I, about 10 or 12 chefs from the state who we thought were fabulous. We brought them to Woodford Reserve. We had them to taste the product and help us dissect in culinary terms, what we thought a flavor wheel would be. And then I ended up writing a book. It was my first book called The Woodford Reserve Culinary Cocktail Tour. And that's where the original Woodford Reserve wheel came from that you see today.
Wow.
So that was really, I would say, my start.
Sure.
And then when I started my own company, I've decided to take food pairings and, food flavors and that kind of to the next level, because I still felt we weren't doing a great job in restaurants and consumer at home. I felt like, sure, if I put a pairing in front of you, you'd be happy to try it out, but would you do it on your own, in your own home? So that's where which fork do I use with my bourbon came from, because I wanted everybody, and this is why I think bourbon has been so successful, is because we want to make it approachable and friendly. And I wanted to make food pairings approachable and friendly. And so I came up with a method of how to do it, which is called balance, counterbalance, and explosion, and how to dissect predominant notes in the whiskey to guide you and inform you to what you can pair it with. So that was the exercise that Team Peggy just experienced with me, and it was I love having fans at the audience. It's great.
I thought I had fans, Peggy.
love it.
I thought I did.
Until I got
It's the
here.
power of Peggy.
Until I got it. So so kind of fast forward, that brings me to today, and I still to this day continue to explore, and I do what I call palate calisthenics, that so people can learn the different areas of their tongue that work, and salty, sweet, flavors, sweet, all types of things.
Sorry.
He's making faces because he's understanding how far he has to go.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of Eric's, and I like that he goes with his instinct.
Eric, what's your flavor wheel like? What's your flavor wheel like?
Whatever's at Kroger on the Little Debbie, I go that one. Or whatever reminds me of not Warren's tooth. So. Peggy, can I ask you a question?
Of course, Eric.
When
You
you-
can ask me anything.
Oh, thank you. When you eat a donut,
When I eat a donut,
do
yes.
you use a fork with the donut?
I do not.
Thank you. That's all I need to know.
I do not.
There's a guy back there that eats donuts with forks. So
You almost said forks with donuts.
uses a fork to eat a donut, and I just don't agree with it. So I just wanted to see where we were.
I
at there.
understand
Okay.
completely.
I want to point out something, though, that I hope makes you feel a little bit better. The methods that you use to taste, balance, counterbalance, and explosion, you do that. That's not something that is out of your wheelhouse. I just don't think that you have the vocabulary for it. Now, okay, hold on. Sorry. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I meant the names for what you're doing.
I did have Mountain Dew in my bottle, so yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good vocabulary. That's all I want to
That's
say.
not what I meant. I'm sorry. The point of it is that there is now everybody. There's this row up front where I just see shoulders jumping because y'all are laughing at it. But there is to be talked about this almost like pervasiveness that has happened with how am I supposed to be pairing bourbon
Right.
with food?
Right.
And whether it is kind of in the zeitgeist or people actually do learn it, it's not an unnatural approach to things.
Yeah. And the thing is that when I have a big audience that I'm doing a food pairing for, my very first question is, how many people like to eat? Okay, hey, how about that? We got something in common, right?
Lucy was hesitant with the hand raised there.
And the reason why I asked that question is because it's right in front of us. It's about food memory. And we all know what, fruit tastes like bananas and apples. We all can go to our spice rack and there's cinnamon and clove and all types of things that you use every day, black pepper. But when it comes to pairing food or when it comes to describing food, everybody freezes.
Sure.
And so what I'm trying to do is for everybody to lighten up and realize that it's all about food memory. And it's just a matter of walking ourselves mentally to our kitchen and think about, wow, that tastes familiar. What have I tasted that before? What is that? And then trying to identify, is it sweet? If it is sweet, is it sugary sweet? Yes, I taste sugar. Well, what kind of sugar? Brown sugar, golden sugar, maybe a maple syrup, and then all of a sudden things start to roll. and evolve.
Right. I don't want to take too much time away from the crux of what we were kind of planning on doing initially. So I want to.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to pull back the.
That
That's an accurate feeling to have about this. I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit. This event went through so many different cycles of what are we going to do?
They were confused.
yeah.
Well, there was one.
I don't have good vocabulary.
There was one point where Peggy and I were talking, and she looked at one of the pairings that I had suggested, one of the foods for a pairing that I had suggested. She goes, I don't know how anybody would pair that. And I go, yeah, it was just kind of a shot in the dark, honestly. She goes, well, at least you're honest. And I was like, you're right. So we kind of simplified things a little bit to make it slightly more interactive in a way that showcases the difference between how a professional and a mutant do pairings.
That's true.
So we've got 4 different snacks that we're going to go through. As you also might notice, there is a 4th microphone that is set up as well. So we've got 4 people who are going to come up and taste these along with us. So we'll go ahead and welcome to the stage Chad Perkins, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Chad.
I told you were first.
So Eric and I are going to collaborate on trying to come up with some good pairings.
Yes. So we're kind of on the same team, and she's going to teach me as we go.
And you all can't see. You can't
I've
see.
already lost.
But we have a myriad of different bottles behind here to choose from. I brought some from my house. He brought some from his house, and we're gonna pick and choose as we go. So this is definitely on the fly.
So she's judging my pairings, and she's judging my collection, basically, as we say.
So I want to start with just kind of a lob
Oh, boy.
for you. It's something that you are very familiar with, but I'm very curious what Peggy's going to do with the Little Debbie oatmeal cream.
Classic.
Now I got to tell you, I say food memory. It took me right back to grade school cafeteria, having my Little Debbie. That was a big treat in my lunch bag.
Yes.
So I'm very familiar with them.
I think this is the reason I started pairing.
Does Chad get to eat?
Hello.
Maybe. You're in control.
That's
You're
why
in
he's
control
here.
of that table, Peggy.
I just wanted to make sure.
She thought I was just up here for eye candy, but no.
But yeah,
Participating.
Do they look smaller to you
They
than
have.
they used to?
Every- yes.
It's not my
Every
imagination.
year.
I just
No,
remember
no.
and then I thought, well, maybe it's because I was little, but they were like bigger than your head. Okay.
No, that's just my new hat.
Where'd you get your hat, Chad?
Am I not supposed to eat yet?
You can do whatever you
In
want to.
Scotland.
but
Just took a wee trip over the pond. Oh, that went into the Beatles. I'm sorry.
oh no, boo. Oh, but I think that's really the reason I started pairing Little Debbie's, because it was like, it's like the thing you have when you're a kid and now you're old and you enjoy bourbon, but it's like, let's combine them.
Yeah.
And it brings me back. And a lot of
They're
times,
delicious.
yes, they are.
So my mom actually gave these out for Halloween because she was like, I feel like they're healthier than like a Snickers or something. So yeah, it was always like 24 packs of Little Debbie's at the household, and then there was always leftovers, which I enjoyed.
Only 7 grams of fat
Hey,
and no cholesterol.
it's practically health food.
It's healthy.
Select your first
Okay.
your first
Well,
pour.
there's honestly 2 that I want, but
We got time.
Should I have a glass for whiskey?
Would you like a cup?
Oh,
Wait, do you have a glass in your pocket?
not in my pocket, but just off stage.
what did you pick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You gotta talk about it too.
We will.
we are. I'm
Okay.
I was a little scared when she looked at me like that. She goes, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
Can I
that's,
pour one for
oh, that's
you too,
cute.
Barry?
Yeah, that's cute.
Please.
Okay. So, do you want to go first? Go ahead.
I guess I will.
Yeah,
I-
talk through your thinking on this too.
I picked a Wilderness Trail rye because when I have the oatmeal cream pie,
Thank you, Peggy.
I want a little bit more spice in it. I feel like it could be a little bit more cinnamony and a little bit more cherry. So, yeah, I don't have a good vocabulary. Okay, cinnamony. What is this?
That's the rye. You didn't pour it yet, did you?
I gave you one.
Yeah, I know. That's why
But
I
I
was
was handing it that way.
I was trying to help. I didn't know if you could pour and talk at the same time.
I can't. But yeah, like I just feel like the cake part, just spicing it up a little bit, and
Okay.
I picked a rye, and this is not, what's let's see, 56% rye. So
Yeah,
that
super
was
high.
why I thought about pairing it.
The thing about when you're tasting food with the whiskey, I honestly like to take a generous portion and then put the whiskey.
She's gonna need another little Debbie.
2.
I got a whole box.
Okay.
So are we all drinking the same thing at the same time? Are we on the
Start with the Wilderness Trail.
This is
Oh.
Wilderness Trail Rye.
What are you doing, Chad?
All right. I'm just down here.
Thank you for being here.
When I do a pairing, I like to pour.
You were trying.
And Peggy, you have to do this.
I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm adventurous. See, you didn't think I would do that, do you?
Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
Do you know why?
It's actually really nice together.
It definitely brings more spice.
That was
But-
validation, by the way.
What's that?
That was validation, by the way.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I know why you picked the Four Roses with this too now.
You do?
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Maybe I don't.
Should I tell you why I picked what I did?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you want to try the Four Roses first?
Yeah.
Chad?
Let's do it.
Did you know which one? Okay. And the reason why I picked it is because anybody who knows Four Roses knows that it has kind of a gingerbread layer to it. And it also has these beautiful, beautiful baking spices. And so when I think of oatmeal cookie, it's oatmeal pie. And I just thought that it would be a beautiful balance because those baking spices and gingerbread would add even a little bit more. Is that what you guessed?
No, it's the music.
Oh, the music from
How
the...
are we still hearing it?
Yeah.
That's like real right for life.
So,
Anyway,
Perry, you
sorry.
wanna try- Yes. Here.
Yeah. They got us again. Damn you, wheelwright.
Bamboozled.
Oh, that one smells so good.
Well, I love Four Roses. I mean, you just cannot beat it with any kind of dessert type food. Because it also has some nice bites of chocolate as well.
What are you thinking, Chad?
It made me think raisin, and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no raisin in here,
I
obviously.
know, and I almost said oatmeal cookie without the raisin.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
they have an oatmeal raisin cream pie?
There you go.
We're in the test
This,
kitchen.
this, by the way, the one I brought, this is
Yes.
I forgot, it's a barrel selection from Bourbon Women that we did. So
What's the recipe?
it's I think this was a while back. What's it say?
OBSV, I think.
Yep. OBSV 10-year, 8-month.
Nice.
So this is the 60% corn,
So
35
so
rye.
can you taste how it kind of wraps around
Yes.
that cookie?
It's a very comforting pairing to me.
Comforting, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think I would. She wins that one.
Now,
Yeah.
I did a second one. Should I?
Yeah, I wanted to try the Leaper's Fork with it as well.
Leaper's Fork, and this is going to be a different spin. Leaper's Fork is in Franklin, Tennessee. Lovely little beautiful place. And this is a 4-year-old, believe it or not, but it is bottled in bond. and it is absolutely delicious. We tasted it earlier, and it is a butterscotch
have,
bomb. Oh, I did that for you. Okay,
I have
so
it, too.
I owe you.
Yep.
Eric.
It's a butterscotch bomb. Didn't we determine that? And I thought, wow, that might play nicely with the oatmeal cookie. And what we also got that was so interesting was a ton of like oatmeal grits, cinnamon. So I thought, you know, along those lines, it would be really, really great with the oatmeal cookie.
Cookie me, Perry.
Here we go.
Well, okay, thank you.
I was already in motion.
I want it flown in. That's it.
What?
Now, what do you think of that one?
There.
That one,
Like it better?
brings out. Yeah, I like this one better because it's the explosion. Like it brings out the cake and the gingerbread and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other one was comforting. This is like the in your face pairing.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's why I thought it would dial with that butterscotch. It couldn't help but to dial up the flavors.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
love that you said grits on that because I'm sort of getting that. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the pairing. Mm-hmm.
Lots of oatmeal grits. Remember, team.
Team Peggy.
Woo! All right.
I thought it was bringing out a little bit more of the corn
Oh, interesting.
on the whiskey. Actually,
Interesting.
thank you. That's something too that
Oh God, that was good.
I think
She's a fan.
so happy with herself.
I'm very happy with myself.
I think that's something too that needs to be brought up is that when doing this, we do talk a lot about how does the whiskey enhance or change the food, but on the flip side of that, what's the food doing to your experience with the whiskey?
Right.
Too.
Right.
Because those are two sides of the same coin.
Very much so.
It's just, you know, we're so focused on A plus B equals C as opposed to, you know, the other way to get around the
That's
equation.
right.
I don't know. I had an art degree. So, sure, whatever.
Well, and so, you know, one of the things that you learn in the book is enhancing different notes. So we did a little exercise with your group here that we took cranberries. Yeah, thank you. We took cranberries. We took pecans, milk chocolate, and caramel. And the reason why we did that is because I said use those products like dried cranberries when you want to enhance fruit flavors in a whiskey. So in other words, it's just what you said. How many times do we actually change the whiskey with the food?
Right.
And so that eating that one piece of food allowed you to enhance the fruit notes.
Yeah.
You know, pecans, you can enhance the wood notes of a whiskey. So there's all kinds of techniques that you can do to help you along, so you can pair food better.
Do you ever just want to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yes, I do it all the time. Can I just tell you something?
Please.
He asked if I would ever make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I do it all the time. I absolutely love peanut butter and jelly. I adored that cookie. I am a lot of people think I only eat gourmet meals and 5-course dinners and because I pair all these foods and everything. I love, this is my secret obsession, concession stand food. Nothing is better than a baseball game and having, you know, a bratwurst with onions and peppers galore and, you know, nachos with jalapenos and everything. So I have a concession stand food side to me.
Confessions of a concession stand
It
over
is.
here. Yeah.
It is. But people don't expect it.
Spin-off podcast.
People don't expect it. So,
Little street meat.
yeah. That's why I knew I'd pass this test today.
Was that your nickname in high school?
Street.
We don't have to talk about that right now.
Chad, what do you think? What's the winner between these three?
I wanted to do my due diligence.
Right.
So I'm going back. I'm out of the Leaper's Fork.
Oh,
Eric, you said you thought that was Explosion. Is that what you said?
The last one we did, yes.
The Leapers? Yeah. I think your pairing with the Wilderness Trail is actually more of an explosion.
because
I
of the
feel like.
spice.
Yeah, because it is a rye. But I do think it's interesting that you, Peggy, picked the Four Roses, the high rye recipe. Eric, you picked a Kentucky rye,
Right.
56%. So both high rye. But I think the more of the rye and the Wilderness Trail led to the explosion. I think right now I'm between the Leaper's Fork or the Four Roses on which one I think is the most balanced. But all three, thumbs up in my book.
I loved the warm hug of the Four Roses.
Yeah.
With it, and you said it was like really comforting.
Yeah, it was a comforting pair.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the relaxation of whiskey.
Well, and that's what to watch, actually, when you're saying comfort, because when you're doing a food pairing, you're trying to bring harmony, right? And so when you're like, okay, everything's kind of balanced, it feels good, it's comfortable, that's perfect.
Right.
When you're doing a counterbalance, or explosion, it's like, have you ever, started to eat something and you're chewing it and then you go, oh, oh.
You did that last night with the worms.
That's the explosion and the counterbalance, because you brought two crazy things together, and it just keeps ladling out the flavor.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right. What's up?
What's up?
There we go.
What's up?
That's one.
She was ready to go.
What's up?
What's next?
All right, Chad. Thank you, buddy.
Peggy 1, Eric 0.
That's true.
I do.
Oh.
If I have to vote,
They're keeping.
I could.
Yeah.
I have what I would think is the best.
We're collaborating.
Okay, go for it.
It's the Leaper's Fork.
Wow.
I think that's the.
I think it's a great pairing too.
It's a very different profile, isn't it? Whiskey.
It's very. I
you know
actually think the
butterscotch?
lower. Do we know what the
It's 100
rye
proof.
percentage
Oh,
of the Leapers is?
Let me take a look. Yes, I think so.
Is it lower?
You're gonna be surprised.
It's wheat, so it's 0. There's no rye. There's no rye in it. So I think for me,
I didn't want to
that
hurt
was
his
the trick.
feelings.
You forgot to. You forgot.
He's a sensitive soul.
So yeah, for me, I think it's the absence of rye for this pairing. The wheat, I think, makes it sort of home food, soul food type of feeling. Home food, homeschooled. I don't know.
Homeschool?
Soul food, warm and comforting, and just chest feels and goodness.
I'm going for the Four Roses
Okay.
personally, but yeah,
But that's the beauty of it. Everybody's palate's different.
Yeah, of
And
course.
you
no
do
wrong
what you
answers.
enjoy. So practice makes perfect. You just keep trying things until it hits the right buttons for you.
All right, Chad, where can people find you?
I'm right here. Oh, out there. It's called It's Bourbon Night.
Okay, great. Get off the stage.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Chad. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Chad.
Well, that was short, Chad. That was a short visit with Chad. Thank you, Chad. He still wants this. Here, this is your bonus.
That's your.
Thanks for judging. There you go.
That's your bonus.
I need this after all.
I haven't eaten an oatmeal pie. I'm like giddy. I'm literally giddy.
I girder came up there to smell.
I'm usually the one dropping stuff over here.
That's
Look at
true.
me. Yeah,
He broke a Glencairn not too long ago.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
That's
It
fine.
happens. If I didn't have to clean my spot up every time I came over.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Never mind. Anyway, we'd like to bring somebody else to the stage.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce them this time?
Do I have to?
Well, it's not.
No, we're not doing that one.
He's
Okay.
not. He's
Todd Cooper! Get up here. This
He
guy,
was in my class.
he was in the class. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Don't fall off the stage.
Yes, here.
You can find Todd on the Bourbon Bowl where we've been reffing on there.
Oh, it's Bourbon Night again.
Yeah. So, but he doesn't. Todd never tells us where he's at.
Well, that's-
He's always
that's
like
true.
secret. Okay.
That's true.
Do anything.
All right. Next one.
All right,
What's in the box? Please tell me there's a hot dog in there.
There's. Could you
Because of my
imagine?
concession stand
Could
food?
you imagine just 4 lukewarm hot dogs that I've had in this box for hours?
Microwaves. We got microwaves.
Pulls out like a Sabret's like umbrella. Let's have a New York style hot dog.
This one's got mayonnaise on it. Anyway. So I have a couple curveballs for you guys.
Surprise.
Nope. I wanted to go back and forth between sweeter and savory.
Okay.
I had never had this until Lucy and I started dating. And this is one of her favorite snacks.
I know chicken biscuits.
We have like cheese put on these?
No, dude, it's about the thing.
Oh, good.
Well, you don't like chicken biscuits?
Yeah, I know,
There
I
is
thought-
cheese, but
I was
easy
like,
cheese.
Easy cheese.
Why do
They
they
put
call it
pairings
cheesy?
on the boxes
That's
these
the one
days.
that goes the best.
All right. I don't know if I've ever even had these.
Oh yeah, they are very savory
Yeah.
tasting.
Yeah.
For sure.
Eric fights a bag. Tim Bip Weekend 23. You didn't try?
Let me give him one too.
And take a few for sure. There's a lot of chatter over chicken and biscuit.
They're very savory.
They're so
Very
good.
herbal. They're good.
And the thinking was too that Eric does a lot of sweet pairings, so we're gonna see what we could do
New riff.
with something more savory. What do you think?
New riff might go good.
I thought these were just going to be plain crackers.
No,
What is this?
it's chicken and a biscuit.
Have we
These
ever
are
had
delicious.
these?
Yes.
When? I don't know.
Eric, you are one step away from getting bless your heart.
I control who's in this room. I mean, that's what.
It's not my show anymore.
Exactly. All right. I got it.
All right, so Peggy is going with the New Riff Balboa Rye. Shout out, Ian.
I sure in the heck am.
Now,
Will
when
you pass
she was
that to Perry?
when she was setting up the tasting for Team Peggy, she goes, "Have you ever had this?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's one of the best ryes from New Riff." I don't even know who said that, but yes.
Give your dad a cracker and let me pour him a. I mean, seriously, you're
Dad.
gonna adapt.
Papa Ritter.
Let it open though. Let it open.
Eric, what did you go for?
I went for Old Ezra 7 because
The caster?
barrel strength, 117 proof. What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
I was just reading the label.
Okay.
Spicy gal.
Pour me one before I have to eat my cracker. Do I get more than two?
Oh, of course. Yeah, as much as you want. You grabbed them yourself.
I didn't want to, overstep being a guest.
Nah.
Peggy, you can take over the show right now.
This is Peggy's Bourbon Podcast.
Right.
Tip tip.
All right. So I guess this time I want to hear what Peggy had in mind with her.
Is this
You
one
want
of your
her to
favorite?
start? Yes. I think so. I think I got them like once when we were in. Never mind. Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
I can hear.
I'm conferring.
No, I think I hear more than the people who can hear
Oh,
through
I'm
speak.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I just
Did I curse?
no.
Peggy, we're allowed one curse word,
One curse word.
and you can
Show.
say whatever you want.
Drops the C bomb. I'm like, what?
Drop it.
No, don't, please don't. My mother's in the room.
That's good. It's good. I felt like Eric's choice, Old Ezra, was like nice and balanced. It didn't, it married nicely with it. It didn't take it to anywhere else except just even.
I wanted to do the whole
Oh, here.
oh, there you go.
That's mine. And is that the one I gave you?
Yes.
New
I wanted to
recipe?
just put some like a cheese or like a peanut butter or
I
something
agree.
on the cracker.
Yep.
And so that's why I combined the two.
Yep.
So
I could see that. You like complexity,
yes, I do. I'm very complex.
food complexity.
Yes. I am very complex. I may not be able to speak well. I don't have a complex vocabulary, but I am a complex person.
I'm never gonna live this down.
At least a couple weeks.
Yeah,
So-
until we move on to the next
Did
bit.
I gave you a new riff? You both have
Yes.
it? Okay.
I've got the new riff.
the reason why I did New Riff is because I got a lot of herbs on this cracker. It's super savory and just a little bit of dill flavor on the cracker. And so I couldn't help myself but to go with a big, bold rye because a flavor that comes from rye is dill. And Balboa rye is one of the best ryes, I think, on the market right now. And, so I was getting rye bread and dill and everything. So it actually heightened it.
Whoa,
the
sorry,
cracker.
the finish just like smacked me in the face.
Right.
That
Do you
was
see what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah.
Right. It literally, I think, but you
It
say
does.
too, if you want, took it to
it's
the next.
the explosion
Yeah.
part where it really takes it.
Could you
up
get on
a
the mic,
notch.
please, Todd?
It's an explosion.
And wasn't there a YouTube clip or something where it's like, it's an explosion? No, that was my wife. She got no. Stop it! Wow! Stop it!
Good night, everybody.
No, she was interviewed on the news one time when like there was a mudslide back home, and she just goes, it was like an explosion, and then they just cut off.
Can we find that clip?
Yeah, well, I'll look for it. I knew so much explosions with my wife. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, when I tasted the new riff with this, it was like you said. It took this cracker and it just amped it up.
Right.
It was like the pairing I was going for. I was thinking I want to add to the cracker, make a different snack. This took the cracker and it's like let's make the cracker better by adding all that, the spice and the herbs and stuff like that.
And
So,
you
yes.
didn't get it till the end.
Yeah,
No,
it's on
that's
the finish.
that's when it really.
I think the dill actually, like, because you have the chicken and biscuit flavoring, that dill just amplified it. There's another layer on top of that pairing between the two that bring it together to a beautiful marriage.
What kind of chicken?
May it be long and happy.
I'm going to start buying those again.
Absolutely. Those are fantastic. I forgot about those.
I didn't know they made them.
I don't. A hen?
I had no idea
don't
they
know.
made them any longer.
What do you-
I don't know.
I just didn't know what part. Why is it chicken? Like
I think it's the seasoning, like that you would put on. Thank you,
Okay,
Sarah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, this one goes to Peggy.
Great pairing on that.
I
That-
absolutely.
Absolutely.
This is the only way we can eat chicken and a biscuit now. Is
Right.
with Balboa rye.
Yes.
Wow.
Those were. Are they going to get harder, or are they about the same?
She's like,
I'm nervous.
Oh.
I'm nervous.
There's one. There is one. There's one that no.
okay.
Okay. There is one that is a pretty hefty curveball.
That's why I figured.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I
They
figured
got to
it's
do
coming.
something.
Yeah.
Todd,
Yes.
get off the stage.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
You did Team Peggy proud. Thank you.
All right.
Nice hat too, Todd. Thank you. So Peggy 2, Eric? Who's it?
We're just it's
It's a collaboration.
We're collabing. So
Not keeping score?
yes, you're keeping score. Everybody's keeping score out there. All right.
We're gonna move on to Eric's best friend in the whole wide world.
This is
Oh. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can pick him out in the crowd. Can I pick him out in the crowd?
He's the really stiff, uncomfortable one. It's Chad from My Daily Bourbon.
Hottest jeans in Kentucky, baby.
Titus jeans in Kentucky.
Hello.
It's my mic.
Extra crispy.
At least he didn't pop you in the tooth this time.
That's true. All
Hello,
right.
Chad.
You ready?
Hello.
Here,
I am
let me-
ready.
Let me clean the clutter.
Yeah, Todd.
I wanted to take it back a little bit and not necessarily make it an easier pairing, but this is something that I think we kind of pick up on the further we get into bourbon tasting. But I think that when we start to amplify some of these notes, it's going to be really interesting. So, freeze-dried Fuji apple fruit crisps.
Fuji apple. That's very informative.
And why is it informative, Peggy?
Well, I've been trying to teach in the book about levels of intensity, right? So you can take any product whatsoever, and let's say it's apples, and you could say, gosh, I taste apple in my whiskey. Well, that's great, but what kind of apple? Is it a yellow apple, which is very mild? Is it a green apple, which is super tart? Is it a Fuji apple? Is it a red delicious apple? So even that's how far you can dissect is, don't just say apple, don't just say sugar, don't just say spice, take it to the next level. Then you've started to identify what to pair it with. All right. These are dried. Okay.
Eric gave me a look like, I hate you for this.
Take a couple.
Okay.
These are freeze dried. All the better.
What?
Are this baby food?
I don't know.
Are those the puffs? These taste like puffs.
Yeah.
They're really soft. They kind of dissolve in your mouth.
They do.
Does anybody want to try one?
They're not super duper appley,
Sure.
are they?
Come on, get some. Why not?
They taste like plastic.
It's a really bad rendition of what an apple should be.
Okay.
They're not super duper appley.
Here, Chad's got them over there.
Oh, sorry. Go.
I like them.
Take them.
I
can't believe people eat those.
would totally eat these.
No, I
It's
mean
like-
the chicken biscuit. Chicken in a biscuit.
Oh, well, that's wrong.
Yeah, those are bad.
No, they're great.
No.
Your palate's broken.
No.
Now I'm the one that doesn't like you.
Here's mine.
Thank you.
I'm testing it out. It's not my choice.
Take your time. The chicken and the biscuits getting passed around the room now, too.
This is the weirdest church service I've ever been.
This tastes like those little things they pass around at communion.
Communion wafers.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the body of Christ.
Where two or more gather.
Did they give away our food?
Oh, where'd the apples go?
I don't know.
Oh, can they come back, please?
Ian, bring me the apples.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I got mine.
I think. Hold on.
I like them.
You have yours?
Thank you, Annie.
Yeah. I think she wanted those.
Do what?
Okay.
I think she needed.
You want more?
No, I'm good. I figured it out.
Never mind.
Okay.
All right.
Now, will you remember
And I lost Peggy.
this holiday?
I'm going to go ahead and try Eric's while we're waiting.
And then
I'm also going to let you know in the middle of this, if you want to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. For as little,
the
shut up.
two picks.
For as little as $1 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, your sister.
What is this?
She said boo.
Weller. Okay.
All right. So I poured up Weller 107 because I felt like this is supposed to be apple, so
Actually, I do need an apple. I'm sorry.
I wanted to
Against her better judgment.
I need more fruit with this
Yeah,
thing. I
for
need
sure.
to add a little bit of apple, a little bit of like strawberry, and when I pair with Weller, that is always like my strawberry jam or something like that. Like when we were talking about making peanut butter and jelly, like if I have a peanut butter snack, I like to add this to it because it kind of reminds me of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I thought this might bring out a little bit more fruit.
Give it a little dip with the apple. Because it's not really conducive to a pour over.
It's dissolving.
Well, take it out of the cup. Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's actually really nice.
don't let it sit in there too long.
It made it more jammy tasting.
Very-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you let that sit in the whiskey for a few seconds, it turns into an actual apple. These are like the little things that you
Yeah, they're
put in
freeze dried. You got to rehydrate them.
Yeah.
They're the little dinosaurs that you put in like, the water, and you. Yeah.
Is that what you all said back there? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Sea
So that was what I thought about pairing.
I'll explain. Oh, okay. Am I?
Shall we?
If
Yes.
you want to be.
So I picked two
Yes.
different ones that I want you to try. One is the Ben Holiday, which is from Missouri. And it has a huge, I'll tell you that I didn't get a whole lot of apple out of that because they're so puffy, if you will. But when I did get the bite of apple, I thought, how could I possibly enhance this? So who likes caramel apples? Everybody in the audience. If you don't like caramel apples, get out of the room. Because
Swan didn't raise his hand.
This is a very important thing. And Ben Holiday, and then I also had an Old Forester, which has a huge, and this is a single barrel, and it had a huge caramel. So I choose both of these because I think that once you taste them together, all of a sudden at the end, it's like caramel apple. So that was the pairing for me. Did you get those?
I did. I thought the Old Forester really brought out the pastry notes. I'm not a huge fan of Old Forester barrel strength, just like on its own, but I really enjoyed that pairing together. I got apple pie, the caramel apple. Like, I think in food, and I like to describe food, which is the one thing he and I have in common besides Crohn's. But like putting those together, like I just got like fresh baked pie, cinnamon sugar, the caramel drizzle, and really enjoyed it. Now, I did like the jaminess that the 107 brought to it, but really big fan of that Old Faux pairing.
I will say that the what was the first one?
Ben Holiday.
The Ben Holiday reminded me more of, like you said, the caramel apple, almost with like some nuts on top of it and stuff like that. But the Old Forester really does taste like the inside of an apple pie.
Yes.
When you put all that together. Yeah, I mean, I like my pairing too, but this one is pretty good. That Old Forester pairing is really good.
3-0 Peggy.
It's a collaboration.
It is a collaboration. You're right.
That's the new tagline. It's a collaboration. No, that's
It might be already under copyright anyway.
yeah. No, that I don't think I've ever got that out of Old Forester though.
Never.
Yeah,
The caramel?
yeah. Like I'm always like bananas. And
Definitely.
like-
Oh, well, I will tell you, you're absolutely right. Banana bread, that is standard,
Yeah.
I would say,
Yeah.
with Old Forester. But it's always had a big caramel burst for
right.
me.
Ingredients: Fuji apples.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chad, where can people find you?
You can find me at my Daily Bourbon on Instagram, and usually in Eric's DMs. But
Okay.
All right, Chad, get off the stage.
Warren, everybody.
All right. He could have killed you. You could have died.
I'm holding.
Are you telling yourself or him?
I saw him contemplating things with that fork.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce our fourth and final guest to the microphone?
This man. Okay. Well, there is something going on outside. No.
It's just the mascot from Chuck E. Cheese,
The,
which is Chuck E. Cheese.
the less we know, the less we know, the better.
What'd you say? Yeah. Yeah.
Our next judge or taster is Swan. Swan is, I'm sure everybody knows, the former co-host. We have had episodes together, but
What's that?
Swan has a big place in my heart. But do what? Oh my god! No, but I when I started listening to the show, it was Swan and Perry, and to be able to sit in the seat after he had been in it so long was a little intimidating, I will say. But it's been amazing becoming his friend and we talk every day pretty much now, and we send each other inappropriate memes and videos, and it's a whole thing. But,
you think you send inappropriate memes? The one that Swan sends me typically will just kind of make you.
Well, he probably sends it to all of us.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's
Swan, love you, dude. Thanks for being up here. Here we go.
Swan just flew in and boy, his arms tired.
Oh! Thanks, Tony. All right, fourth and final. We are swinging back towards savory, but this is the real. You thought the freeze-dried puffs or whatever were a curveball. This one is another one of my favorite snacks, and I don't know how you could pair bourbon with this.
You don't know how?
I don't know what you would reach for. I know how. You pour it in the glass
Okay.
and you get anyway.
Challenge accepted.
All right.
Bring it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Curve ball, right? So it's the
I got
smart
this.
it's the Smart Food white cheddar popcorn.
Which I love.
Absolutely love this. It's impossible to eat. But sorry, we had to feed the chickens.
I'm going to do the same for you.
Let's go.
I'm really glad we don't have to clean these tablecloths.
it's like feeding a swan.
It's okay. This happens in the park all the time too.
We saw a swan bite a guy the other night. I thought it was a curveball, and everybody's like, "No, I got this."
Shoot, I wish it was just Wilderness Trail and not rye.
I love that there's no pressure because Eric can't win. That's the
What
best
if
part
this
about going
round is
last.
worth 10 points?
Let's see what Peggy's going for.
Well, I just
Eric,
wanna
she's got like
taste
a flavor wheel and a scorecard going. What do you got?
It's all
I
up
think-
here, baby.
Just popcorn?
My mind,
It's
memories.
like a steel trap.
Not that strong.
Duh. Eric has fun.
Shoot, am I able to do a repeat
Sure.
of whiskey?
There's no reason not to.
You can literally do whatever you want on the show right now.
I think my palate's dead. I can taste 300 whiskeys at a competition. I do 4 food pairings at Perry's, and my palate's dead.
This is my bourbon podcast.
Yeah, well, you know.
You know what? I think you're going to be right.
Is this the wild turkey?
That is wild turkey.
And I'm agreeing.
Ah, you hear that? Everybody? Peggy, can you say it one more time?
Ooh.
I am agreeing that this popcorn with cheddar pairs the best with Wild Turkey 101. I concur. Because, but now do you know why?
Do you want me to tell you why I paired it?
Yes. I'm hoping you can say that because I agree with why it was picked if you tell me why.
It is my favorite whiskey to sneak into the movie theater and have with popcorn because it almost turns it into like Cracker Jack.
100%.
Yeah. And yeah, so anytime you see me at the theater and I have something in my pocket, it's going to be Wild Turkey 101 and I'm going to make some Cracker Jacks.
Well, and I get with Wild Turkey 101, of course. I remember parties in college and, but
Can you tell us your wildest party in college?
Do we have the time, Peggy?
there's been so many. It's hard to sum up or I would. But I get a lot of grain forward. And so that's kind of what I was going for when I was looking at all the mash bills, because I was going to say, gosh, cheddar's, salted cheddar's not an easy thing to pair, so I'm going for the corn.
Right.
So that's where I broke it down. And so that was like, what has the most corn? Highest corn, highest corn. We got rye galore back here. We got banana bread, whiskeys, so
I'd be curious
wild turkey.
how the Leaper's Fork
Well,
goes
I have
with
it
it.
right here.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I was torn between Leaper's Fork, Weller, and then I took one more look and I saw the Wild Turkey 101 and he had just picked it up. And I thought, damn.
If you're not first, you're last.
What about a Kentucky Spirit?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, we don't have it.
It reminds me of those tins of popcorn you get at Christmas.
Yeah.
Just grabbing like a handful of the cheddar and the caramel at the same time.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's
So
good.
you agree?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Don't
So,
let your head get too big there, Eric.
Eric,
Look at this. Boom. Drop.
Please don't drop those microphones.
Sorry. There's too much cords back here.
Hey, Eric. Another level would be the Wild Turkey Bourbon and Coke.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah,
I don't
Coke
have
with
Coke
your
up
A
popcorn.
lot of syrup. Anyway, Swan?
Oh, it's
just-
just you want me to leave now?
No, you can stay.
I've got to finish my popcorn.
Yeah, you stay.
He's enjoying his popcorn. Let the man be.
I don't know where to go from there.
Only got trounced.
That was
What?
fun.
It's a collaboration.
It's a collaboration.
She
I've
said
said
it.
that all along.
She said it.
Where could we possibly go from here anyway?
Well, that's it. I mean,
Where can we possibly? We have to end here.
I want to do one big pour over. Everybody on the stage just pours over. What do we got in here? That's it.
well, the chicken and the biscuits somewhere,
Okay.
and the popcorn's also somewhere. The popcorn's made it to the back of the room.
Let's end on an just for Peggy. One little bite for all of us.
Okay.
I don't know if I can eat another one, but I'll try.
Everybody give Peggy a round of applause, please. Whatever you got in front of you. Here we go. Put it up.
I don't have
Okay.
anything.
But I have a question. I have a question.
Oh, Peggy's got a question.
I have a question. I want to, because I've been talking about technique and everything. And I want to know Eric's technique. How much do you pour? I don't know the answer. I don't want to oversaturate. I don't want to undersaturate.
Because
What's the answer?
if it's dripping, it's ready to go.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it.
I don't want to.
How many times have I? Oh my God!
Oh.
I might write another book now.
I'll help.
I have a whole nother
You write
technique.
the forward.
I have
I'm just
another
going to
technique.
help. I don't have a vocabulary for a book. I'll be a consult.
That makes it fruity. It,
Collaboration.
It's a collaboration. We've already determined that.
Yep, there we go.
it really does bring out like a fruitiness on that. Or I think. I don't know.
Really
I'm
good.
wrong. Okay. Anyway. First of all, Peggy, thank you so much
Thank you, Perry.
for being a part of this.
Thanks for inviting me.
This was
Thank
so
you.
much fun.
I love meeting all you all. Thank you.
I hope that this was as informative for you all as it was for us too, because I mean, this was very much a masterclass in how can Eric be a better pairer.
1 out of 4 ain't bad. No, I agree. I know my techniques are wild sometimes, and I'm just doing stuff. But like, it really is awesome to do this with someone who, like, that's what she does. Like, like I love, like she said earlier, like she didn't say the same words, but what do I always say? Keep whiskey fun.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
and if it means grabbing your favorite snack from your childhood or like trying to make something out of something, whatever, like that's what I want. And the music and talking about fun.
Good
We
timing.
have a big time tonight.
Good
Yes,
time. Oh,
but
boy.
yeah, it's
Sitting in with
just
the band.
awesome to be up here doing this with her. And
Thank you.
Thank you for the tasting earlier with everybody. And
Tons of fun.
yes, that's
If it means
Peggy-
pouring whiskey over an egg salad sandwich at Willett, don't do it.
It was,
Oh, well, I think we can figure something out.
Peggy, let everybody know where they can find you on social media, where they can pick
Sure.
up your books and everything.
What you
Or
got
book,
going
excuse me.
on, all that
Sure.
stuff.
Well, first of all, you can find me on Instagram under Peggy Noe Stevens. I have a very exciting handle, Peggy Noe Stevens. And then which fork do I use with my bourbon? You can go to my website to order. You can go to the bourbonwomen.org site to order, and also Amazon. Or, I think Joseph Beth is still carrying them here in Lexington if you're
Great
local.
bookstore.
Yeah, if you're local. And what I have coming up basically is a ton of speaking engagements, whiskey conferences, judging, and also working on some specialty visitor center projects
Ooh.
that hopefully I'll be back on another day to talk about.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll pencil it in.
Sounds like
Yeah.
an episode.
Yeah. So thank you all.
Thank you, too.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. And thank you all, too, for coming out and hanging
Yes,
out with
thank
us.
you guys.
Yeah, it was at the
We were at the first one.
yeah.
Swan,
Swan?
where can people find you on social media?
Swan TBF on Instagram. That's it.
And that's it.
Yeah, really simplified that one.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Fantastic. Yeah. Again, thank you all so much for coming out, hanging out with us. This is My Bourbon Podcast Live is my favorite thing that we get to do with the show year in, year out. And we just appreciate people not only taking the chance on what we do, but also coming back and doing it all over again. Also, thank you for all the hard work and dedication you've given to this, because it's been a crazy year, and I wouldn't have gotten through the planning of this without you.
That's what family does. Family.
Okay, great. Do you want to take us home?
Take us home?
Yeah, take us home.
Yeah, I'll take us home.
Do it.
Let me get my lift.
Where's your phone?
I'm just playing. Where am I at right now? I don't even know. If whoever's here that isn't following the show, please follow at My Bourbon Pod. You can follow me at WhiskeyMutant. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. He's probably going to be playing with the Wheelwright reunion later.
Oh, there's
so
no probably about it, my
he's
friend.
literally took his guitar in there and set the amp. So he's ready to go. If you're not on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/MyBourbonPod for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show at $5. You get all the bonus stuff. You'll get to hear what we did over there when I ate worms and almost puked. All
You can
that
hear
fun
your Eric gag.
You can pay to hear me gag on worms. If you want to call in and leave a voicemail, we do a barrel ring segment. You can leave a voicemail. You get to be on the show. We'll reply to you. It's 859-428-8253. There we go.
Nailed that one.
Nailed it. Subscribe to the show on all your podcast apps. You can go to YouTube. We put all the shows up on there, video versions. You'll see this on there. If anybody wants to be on the show real fast, you can get on the camera right now.
No.
Sorry. I thought I had.
Tragedy today as a bourbon podcast ended in a stampede death.
But thank you guys again. We appreciate you. I look forward to this with all the stress and everything goes into putting it in. It's worth it right now at this moment when we say thank you guys for all your support.
Yes.
Yes. I'm Perry.
I'm Perry.
I'm Perry.
I'm Larry.
Take us home.
All right. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you are doing so after the fact, if you're watching, of course, thank you for checking it out on YouTube. We will see you guys real soon. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And
Peggy.
Swan.
y'all say...
This is My Bourbon Podcast.
Thank you.